Morning folks, another just glorious morning. I cannot believe my luck with the weather on this trip. Every morning has been sunny. I woke up at, it was about 4 I think, and the sky was just pink with the sunrise. It was incredible. But yeah, just woke up and had an hour or so just lying here, just looking at the view. Had a couple of divers out in the bay as well. It was cold last night though. Must have been the coldest night of the trip. Just started to feel it just a little bit through the night, but I was okay overall. When the sun came up, a bit of sun in here was really nice. Took the edge off. But yeah, I'm just gonna get dressed and get up and have a small fire this morning, just to warm up the hands and boil some water. And yeah, then we'll get going again. So we are on our way again. I'm just going to duck under a tree here. It's actually day 10. My original plan was to finish today, but I've booked a small Airbnb at the end and they weren't available tonight. So I basically extended the trip a little, so I've kind of cut the last day in half. So I've got about 8 or 9 kilometers today, and then 6 or 7 tomorrow, just to finish off. Yeah, there was a couple more people camped on the other side of the cabin that I couldn't see this morning. So yeah, 2 other pitches and then about 5 people in the cabin. So it was busy enough, but there should be a water source just along here, so I'm going to fill up my water and then just wander along this 9 kilometers to the next cabin hopefully. I did notice that not far from the cabin there's a wind shelter as well, so hopefully we've got a couple of options and we can have a good final night. So this is the other wind shelter spot. Loads of bags of wood. I don't know if you can see it, it's too dark maybe. Yeah, a really nice spot at this bay. I think a lot of people go swimming and stuff here. But yeah, the wind shelter wouldn't have really been any good for sleeping in. Although I have seen someone washing dishes just up the path here, so there's potentially more room for pitches. But yeah, nearly at the end, about 500 metres away from the north end car park of this nature reserve, and then we're back onto the country lanes as they call it here, and I think maybe 3 or 4 kilometres on them and down into the next small town. So that's me done 5k this morning. Just stopped for a little break. It's hot again. I think I might actually switch back to shorts. So the shorts are on. And I've just checked the weather forecast. It says 15 degrees for today, and I can absolutely believe it. It's incredibly warm. But we're still making our way down this road, and we're going to end up in a small settlement called Utby, I think it's pronounced. That hill up behind the houses there, I think that's where we're headed. Up to the top of that, and the cabin's up there somewhere, so it looks like it'll be quite nice, but also quite a steep snap up to it. Some woolly maggots enjoying the sunshine. I don't think they were impressed that I called them that. Not sure you can even see me properly with the sun behind me, but I just sat down and made some lunch as I came off the main road there because I was hungry, and you've seen me make noodles enough times now that I didn't bother filming it. So we're just on this like sort of grassed over old forestry track, and it's just winding up the hill. Yeah, got 10k done already. It should be about 3, I think, to the cabin site. So plenty of time. Hopefully it's not too busy, and hopefully just have a relaxed final evening. Oh, I'm actually just at marker 118, which means, I don't know if you can even see that, I've only got 10k to go. I've just come across this cabin, which is not the cabin that's described on the trail map, but I went on Google Translate and the top hashtag is office cabin and the next bit is free. So I kind of think you can stay here. If it was private, I guess it would be locked. I have been in and had a look at the guest book. Plenty of people have stopped by, although I couldn't really see any entries that said they'd actually stayed. But it's a nice little place. It's even got mattresses, 2 bunks. Noughts and crosses. Or I think is it tic-tac-toe in America? Little wood burner. You know, fire pit outside. So yeah, I don't know. Set of keys there for something. Maybe some kind of vehicle or something when they come up here. I'm guessing it's like some kind of little hunting cabin too, because there were high seats out in the open areas for moose or deer or something. But I think I'll carry on. I'll see what this main cabin's like. If it's really busy, we can always come back. It's only like 500 or 600 meters away. Yeah, I'm just not sure. I mean, I guess the chances of someone coming up here and kicking me out are very slim, but you think if it was free to stay in, and it's clearly been there for a while, it would be on the trail map. I don't know if you can see there, but that should be the cabin on the other side of the lake there. I'll zoom in a wee bit. So it looks like it'll be a nice spot. I can't see anyone outside, I don't think. So we'll go around to see what the situation is. This is the cabin, guys. Another beautiful location. Right on this lake that we saw earlier. Got a fire pit out the front. Interesting little doorway in. Have to duck down. But then a similar setup to the one where I stayed with a guy from Germany. Window, small table, 2 bunks either side, and then it's probably a bit dark. There we go. A wood stove. It's actually a little bit smaller because there was more cupboards and things in the other one. That's just a box of some bits and pieces of kindling in it. Yeah, this was nice. Yeah, location wise, it's not that handy for a lot of people, either starting the day or finishing the day, unless you're in a situation like me where I'm sort of extending a day, if you know what I mean, because originally I would have just walked past this and gone straight down to the finish too. It's also a Sunday, so obviously not a lot of people can stay out on a Sunday night if they have work. There's about 6 people in front of me this morning that I know of. They would be here by now if they were staying, but they're not. So yeah, we'll see. I don't really have any desire to walk any further. So I think I'll maybe just put my stuff on one of the bunks and just hang out here and see if someone turns up. But it would be a nice way to spend the last night. I'm still at the cabin. It's 25 to 5. The 2 Dutch women that I mentioned that stayed in the cabin last night, they showed up. They stayed for about an hour, had some coffee, shared some chocolate, and we had a good chat about Scotland's forests and the differences between there and Sweden. But they've decided to go on a little bit further. I think they were planning to stay here, but it's a little bit too intimate for 3 people, so they're going to carry on, and it's going to be a beautiful night. So I'm sure they'll find somewhere. I think they were going to try out the wind shelter that I mentioned, but it's so warm in the sun right now, honestly. Almost warm enough that I just want to go inside because it's almost unbearable. But such a beautiful day. I know I keep saying it, but cannot believe the luck with this weather. Collected some firewood. There was nothing in the cabin, which has been the theme all the way through these places. I suppose coming to the end of the season, people aren't really keeping them stocked up. But I went right back into the forest and found a decent size dead standing pine. I don't need a raging fire, just something to take the edge off because it will get cold again tonight, so that'll be nice. And I'll probably make dinner in a little while and then see if anyone turns up. But yeah, I think I'm going to stay here no matter what because I cannot be bothered moving now. The good thing is that the amount of heat coming in here, the phone has charged about 30% in the last 20 minutes, which is really good. Well, last meal on the trail, ended up with pasta with cheese and broccoli. I've had one of these on this trip already, again really tasty. These Blaband meals are honestly the tastiest dehydrated meals I've had. Not sponsored or anything. I basically did an opinion poll on Instagram to see what people recommend. These came out top, so I tried them, and yeah, I'm glad I did. Really, really tasty. I feel that temperature starting to drop quite rapidly now. It's comfortable now, but it's definitely dropping. I think it's supposed to go down to about 5 or 6 tonight, but it'll be more than warm enough in the cabin. Drinking my final hot chocolate of the trip, and it's been some trip. It really has. The weather, I couldn't have asked for better. Some of the camp spots I had were just incredible. No injuries. I'm still feeling pretty good. I slept pretty good. I'm very happy with the gear that I took. There's not much that I would change. The food, the amount of food that I took worked well. So it's been pretty successful. I've got about 8 kilometres to do tomorrow, just down to the town and the end point, and then I've got an Airbnb booked for the next couple of days before I fly home. Yeah, I've been waiting for this trip for almost 3 years, and I've really needed it physically and mentally. Like the physical challenge and mentally just I needed the escape. I've mentioned before that I've struggled with mental health, and COVID hasn't helped things the last couple of years, but the struggle was there already. COVID just added to things, and the struggle still will be there when I go back. But this has helped me in a lot of ways, and I know at the moment with the cost of living and people hardly being able to afford heating, seeing me going away and doing something like this looks like some, I don't know, wealthy guy just having fun whilst others are struggling, but it really couldn't be further from the truth. I'm either working or I'm out camping at the weekends. That's it. That's my life. I live a very low impact lifestyle. It's just me and the dog. I would say, I don't know, 98% of the time. I see a few people at work now and again, but that's it. That's my life. The whole working from home hasn't really helped with the mental health thing. Just being stuck in the house, seeing the same thing every day. So, yeah, I've been waiting for this escape for a long time, and the way things are going, I probably won't be able to have an escape like this for some time now. And even this one, to be honest, was pushing the limits of what I could afford. But after COVID and the way the world's going, I just said, I'm gonna do it now. I don't care. I need to do this. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the videos when they come out, and hope you enjoy following along and like this style of video. Like I say, I haven't filmed a trip like this before. The filming was quite a bit of work, when you're tired of walking anyway, to then think about setting up the camera and doing all these bits and pieces. So yeah, hopefully it's turned out well and you've enjoyed it. I'm going to have tomorrow, you'll see some footage from there, but yeah, I just wanted to say this just now. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there for tonight and just enjoy the rest of this last night. I've heard that the Northern Lights could be very good tonight, and I think I'm in quite a good spot to see them if they are. So if there's Northern Lights, you'll see them. But if not, I will see you in the morning for the final day. Morning folks, the final morning of the final day, another beautiful one. It's almost guaranteed at this point. I think the rest of the week as well is supposed to be something like this. But I had a really good sleep in the cabin. Felt really lucky to get that on my own on the last night. It was a nice way to finish the trip. And just had breakfast and got packed up. Now we've got about 3 kilometres I think down the other side of this hill to a small town, and then there's a little hill I think to go over, and then we're into the main town to finish. So it's about 3 kilometres trail, 5 kilometres probably going to be road walking into the town. I forgot to mention the Northern Lights were out last night. I fell asleep about 9, but I set an alarm for 10:30 to wake me back up again. Also had a couple of messages on Instagram from people saying they were out, so put my hat and my jacket on and went outside for a look, and there they were. And I really wish I had the skills to capture these things, but I just don't. I'm very much a point and shoot photographer, videographer, whatever you want to call it. So it would have been nice to capture it, but I just couldn't. I've got a couple of blurry pics on my phone. That's about it. But yeah, that was a really nice thing to see from the cabin on the last night. Such a clear night too. Not the first time I've seen them by any means, but it's always nice to see that kind of thing. I'm just crossing this weird dam, almost a little bit like a canal type thing. I thought the route was actually took me to a dead end because it looked like I couldn't cross, but there is a walkway. So yeah, I just walked through the first little settlement, and it feels very wealthy again. Massive houses. All the houses in Sweden just look massive, but big gardens in this place. A lot of maintenance, big manicured lawns, big caravans outside. Just feels like there's a lot of money. There hadn't been any marker posts from the cabin down. I thought they weren't going to bother on the last. They're just teasing us now. 2k to go. Wow, this last kilometre feels like about 5. It's not the clearest marked bit of the route either. It's a little bit confusing, kind of going in and out of this. I'm guessing it's like winter sports sort of centre with dry slopes and things. But I just bumped into the Dutch couple again, which is nice to see them just as I was coming down the hill. They've already finished. They said they would check out the YouTube channel as well, so if you're watching this, it was nice to see you again. But I keep saying we're only a little bit away, but there's an extra bit and an extra bit and an extra bit. So I'm hoping the next clip that you see is me standing at the finish. I genuinely think that's it, guys. Bit of an anticlimax. I'm at a random spot in the middle of the city that the map says it ends here. There's no markers. There's an orange marker on a lamppost a few metres back. I've looked and looked, I can't see anything else from then, so I think I'm done. I think that's it. Got a view of the harbour down there. That's it. 128 kilometres, 11 days, 10 nights, job done. Thanks for following along. I hope you enjoy these videos when they come out, and well, stick around for the trip summary. I think I'll do a little conclusion, positives and negatives, that kind of thing. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next one. Hi folks, thanks for sticking around to this end of series summary, if you want to call it that. I'm still in Sweden. It's only the day after I finished the trail, but I just wanted to do this little summary while everything was fresh in my head. Still not quite over that anticlimactic finish to the trail yesterday, but apparently that's quite a well-known Swedish thing. Things are quite understated, but even a mark on the ground would have been nice, but it was definitely the end. I double checked, and that is the point that you start the trail from, or finish, depending on what way you do it, but yeah, that's just the way it is. But yeah, yesterday I went to a place called Max Burger, and I had a double cheeseburger, large fries, large Coke, and then afterwards I had a caramel sundae and a large coffee, and just filled myself with junk food, but it was good. Then I had a 3 kilometre walk up the hill out of the city to a supermarket nearby, and I got a few basic things, and then it was just a kilometre to this little Airbnb, which is where I am now. It's been another beautiful day, beautiful sunny day, but I haven't been out. I feel fine, but it was just nice to just relax. I've just been eating, relaxing, watching some stuff on the TV and not doing much at all. I felt like I was wasting the day a little bit, but then I thought, geez, I've been out for the last 11 days, and it's just a bit of a holiday at the end, so yeah, it's been nice. So yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the positives of the trip, negatives of the trip, and anything that I may have changed. Positives, the weather was fantastic the whole way through. I think we had a couple hours of rain at most when walking. A couple of nights was very light showers, but nothing to worry about at all. So that was fantastic. Probably could have even got away with just a bivy bag if I really wanted to. But I'm glad I brought the tarp. That worked well in the end. If you see me looking down, it's just because I've got some notes. It was just shorts and t-shirt the whole time, really. One day I kept the trousers on, but I actually got a bit too warm in them, and it was more just because I couldn't be bothered taking them off again. So yeah, absolutely brilliant weather. Couldn't complain. I think it obviously might have been different if it was just wind and rain all the time in terms of the gear I brought, but what I had worked really well. I think I still would have been okay, but sitting in the tarp, if it was just wind and rain the whole time, might have felt a little different. The camp spots, some of the camp spots in the cabins were fantastic. A lot of these cabins are open and free to anyone. It's almost like a bothy system, whoever turns up first. What else? Just general fitness felt good. No injuries, nothing feels sore today. So pretty pleased with that. Felt like I could have kept going physically, to be honest. I think mentally, because I knew I was finishing yesterday, then I started to sort of feel like, this is the finish, let's get finished. But if I had another week, I think I probably would have been okay. And then the final one is probably the gear choices I made, very happy with, and the amount of food that I took, I was very happy with too. Couple of little things I probably would have changed in the gear though, not necessarily negatives, but the bivy bag, I ended up using that more like a footprint than actually getting inside it. So I probably would have brought the footprint mat instead. That was what I originally planned, but that's no big deal. Someone actually mentioned it on the gear video, and that was taking a walking pole that acted as a tripod, and I didn't feel like I needed a walking pole, but I ended up sort of carrying the tripod in my hand just down by my side a lot of the time, which is a little bit annoying. And at least if it was a walking pole, it would have been more comfortable to carry, or some kind of just big sort of over the shoulder strap. I could just have hung it on, but sort of gripping it the whole time got a little bit tedious, and it was too much hassle to keep taking it in and out of my bag every time I wanted to use it when I had my bag on. And then food, again, not a negative, but now I've done the route, you probably could have easily taken less food than I did and bought more food en route, but food is very expensive here, especially in some of the smaller shops, co-ops and things in these very small towns. So you kind of need to weigh that up against each other, carrying more weight or spending more money. In the end, the weight I had, it was fine, and I knew I had enough to cover the most of the 10 days, although I'd planned to replace 2 main meals, and that was fine as well. One other little thing that I noticed maybe 3 days from the end of the trail, and it's so stupid, I don't know why I didn't work it out, but in my gear video I was talking about the sound recorder, and that to produce higher quality sound than the camera sound, I would get about 30 to 40 minutes for each 32 gigabyte sound card. So now I've had it on the average sound setting, trying to save space, even though I got more sound cards. But honestly, it's so stupid. But the 30 minutes that I was seeing, it was actually 30 hours. And I think I was thinking in terms of video, high quality video, 4K. A memory card doesn't last that long. I think I was in that mindset. So even on the highest quality that this sound recorder does, one SD card could have done 12 hours of audio. So I only need one card easily because I've only got about a couple of hours of audio across the whole clip. So yeah, that was really stupid of me. But if anyone's thinking about getting this, just so you know, it's actually even better than I originally thought. And then the negatives. I don't want to be too negative because it was a great trip, but there was just a few things. There was quite a lot of road walking. One of the sections was pretty much all road walking. 11 kilometers on main road, which was pretty tedious. Quite a bit of road walking in between. I mean, I knew this wasn't going to be, some kind of wilderness experience, but I was a little disappointed about how much road walking there was. And then I've put down here as well that I thought the route was almost a little bit lazy in places, because you were on a road, you had some quite nice forest either side. Why not make a little bit of effort to put the route through the forest? Because one of the nice things about this route was that some of it literally was just a desire line through the forest with a few orange blazes. There's no sort of built footpath or anything like that. So I thought that would have been quite easy to put through other sections. And of course, that does depend on different forest owners and whether they want that or not. But I just thought in places they could have done a little bit more to reduce the road walking element of it. The national park was absolutely beautiful, but for me, it was too busy. That might sound a little bit crazy to some people watching this, but obviously it didn't help that there was a running event on, but take that away and there was still a lot of people about. I was hoping for a quieter route, but on balance, the rest of the route was relatively quiet. The High Coast Trail app is rubbish. I wouldn't bother using it. It's very slow, it's very clunky, it's full of bugs. It's not up to date, even though it's an online app and it's relatively easy to update. So yeah, I wouldn't bother with that at all. The route itself, there's obviously been some changes. The end bit that you saw me struggling a little bit with, there's obviously been some development. And I can appreciate if the maps aren't completely up to date yet, but the actual markers on the ground weren't up to date either, and it got a little bit confusing, especially when you're coming into a city. So that was a little bit annoying. I suppose the final thing was, and it's a problem everywhere, it really is, that along a lot of the route, there was loads of fireplaces, wind shelters, firewood stores, all provided, which is fantastic. Yet people were still going and building fire pits next to, official sort of fire pits, leaving big piles of charred wood, leaving mess, all this kind of thing. I just thought it was unnecessary. And that's not necessarily the trail's fault, that's visitors coming and doing it. But again, it was a little bit disappointing. And even some of the cabin, most of the cabins have an eco toilet beside them or not too far away, yet people were still going to the toilet right behind the cabins. You've got so much space and forest that even if there was no eco toilet, walk 100 meters away into the forest and go to the toilet. Don't go behind the cabin. I mean, it's just common sense stuff. But we have big problems with that in the UK as well. It's just a general problem everywhere. Would I do the trail again? Honestly, no. It was a really good trip, and as I mentioned in the video, I needed the physical challenge. I needed the sort of mental break from things back home, and it was a great trip, and I'm really glad I did it. Some beautiful spots, some great camp spots, but it's not a trail I would revisit again. And that's not me trying to be negative again. It's just that it was good, it's done, and that's it. There's a couple of spots I would be happy to visit again, but there's so much else in Sweden and Norway and Finland that I wouldn't spend time coming back and doing it again. But if you're thinking about doing it, I would absolutely recommend it. That's it. Thanks again for watching the series if you have and you've got this far. As with the other videos, I'll put links under this video for maps and these kind of bits and pieces. I'll put a link to the gear video if anyone's missed that and is still interested. And yeah, it's been fun, and I would like to do more trips like this and film them. But yeah, we'll see about that probably next year. I think there's much more important things to pay for this coming winter. It's going to be interesting to say the least. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.